So what's going on, everybody? This is Prey Randomizer. If you've ever seen Prey before, this will be nothing like what you've seen. If you've never seen Prey, don't worry, this will not spoil a thing at all. We'll go over the settings here in a second, but yeah, we will have Moon Crash after this, which is the DLC for the base game, which is a little bit more of a cooldown after this. We'll get to. It's a little bit randomized. It's going to share some of the same properties, but Prey Randomizer is hell on earth. You guys just watched Doom. This is pretty much just like that. So in the randomizer, there are a lot of settings. The one we're using for this seed is basically the standard I go to. There are harder settings that I've done that you should never do, which if you want that to my YouTube channel is a 6.5-hour VOD, which is why we're not doing it tonight. But anyways, we have a lot of cosmetic stuff. We have randomized bodies. So all the NPCs you see on the floor are going to have like different skins. The fun one is all of the voice lines in the game are randomized from the character. So if Alex is going to talk, it's going to pull one of his voice lines. Doesn't matter if it makes sense at the moment. It may be too long for that moment, maybe too short. Gets really wacky. So you're not really going to get any of the storyline from the voices. The music's randomized. The player model, once again, it's like the skin. The Earth, Moon, and Sun size. We hope for a big moon. That's all what we want. All of the items are randomized to a certain extent. We'll talk about loot tables once we get into it. But when you go to loot something or just stuff on the floor, it's going to be shuffled around. All of the props, so like tables, chairs, debris, that gets shuffled, can cause a lot of mayhem very quickly. All of the enemies are randomized as well, which includes nightmares. So the big bads of the game can show up right at the spawn, essentially. Makes for a fun time when you walk into a small room and you have a big nightmare in your way. All of the robots are randomized as well. The two big ones that will really change up how this game is played is the entire station is shuffled around. So you might go from Neuromod Division to Lobby usually in the base game. This might take you from Neuromod to Guts, Neuromod Division to Arboretum. And we have to figure out the ship layout and find our quest as we go. It's a lot of on-the-fly routing, which is where the speedrun stuff really comes into play. And then all of the neuromod trees are randomized as well. So you might have hacking 3 before you buy hacking 1. You might have mobility 2 before mobility 1, and all their prices are randomized as well. So something as easy as hack 1 could be 25 neuromods essentially to buy it. So can be a real pain. All the fabrication plan costs are randomized. So when you go to fabricate something, it'll cost just whatever it wants. And then where you would normally have a recycler and a fabricator, you can have 2 fabricators, 2 recyclers. All of that stuff gets randomized. Anything that's breakable can be in a broken state or repaired state. You got to find out. Same with hackable things. So like door codes can be hack state or unlocked. And then we have a couple things that kind of speed up the beginning of the game. So we're going to start on the second day, meaning we don't go through the amazing helicopter cutscene at the beginning. It's sad, I know, but it just kind of slows it down and it's nothing really different. And then we're going to skip the Joven cutscene, which is the first time you see a mimic. And then all of the Typhon scans are unlocked from there. So there are some other settings like keycard customization. You can make all of the enemies nightmares. You can turn off zero gravity on the outside of the ship, which is definitely a fun time. And if you want to check out this randomizer for yourself, I will say just Google Prey Randomizer and you can find it, or go over to Nexus Mods. It's very, very easy to find, very easy to install, and there's tons of stuff to play with. You can turn any of these off. You can turn on extra stuff. Plenty of fun, gimmicky things as well. There's also a great Discord set up if you have questions on it or encounter a bug of some sort. This was developed pretty much by a single person. They're in chat even, Shape in the Glass, so shout outs to Shape in the Glass for this. So there is some potential for a soft lock with these settings. It's very, very, very rare. But if it comes to that, we will try to work around it. Because it is a randomizer, we could just skip to the end of the game like we do in any %, which is like a 6-minute speedrun. Kind of a self-imposed rules. We're going to do the null wave ending of the game. And then also, we try not to go out of bounds or do any like duplications. Just, what's the point of playing a randomizer if you skip everything anyway? So We'll hop into it, start a new game. I already have a seed generated. We're going to play on normal. And the character you play as doesn't really matter. So time will start once we load in. You'll hear the randomized voice lines. There are a couple things, mainly quest items, that are not randomized that we need to find, and we need to do the main quest. So we'll talk about that here in a second. Time will start in 3, 2, 1, go. We're waking up after going through the tutorial, learning stuff.
Good morning, Morgan. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2013.
Going to start in the apartment. The biggest thing we want to do off the start is find a neuromod. And it looks like we actually have one on the desk. That's really good. That's going to allow us to actually look at our neuromod tree and see how lucky or unlucky we got. Also, there is a lot of figuring out stuff on the fly and routing. So if I kind of glimpse over something in terms of what I'm doing, I apologize for that. You can definitely send me a DM, ask me questions about this. I will be glad to answer. So in the neuromod tree, let's see what we got. Really, we want to look for hacking 1, which is not that. Hacking 1's down here. So it's going to cost 15. Repair 1's going to be 5. Just kind of looking at typical neuromods that we might want to buy and see how much they cost. So we have a general idea of how I want to handle certain situations. Mobility 1, mobility 2 is 11. Okay. Just looking at some useful ones here. Mimic Matters 1. Phantom Shift 2. Regen 7. All right. So all that's randomized. We're going to grab our suit. Just because there's a wrench out in the hallway at the static spawns, we can actually get out of the apartment every time. And then we're going to start looking around at different sections of loot. So all of the items are randomized, but everything in this game works on a loot table. And it's what's inside of those loot tables that's actually randomized. So if we kill a mimic, it's going to pull from the same table every time it's a mimic. And what's on that table is actually going to change. Not the mimic loot. So we kill a mimic and it has a neuromod, for example. I know to go and kill every mimic I can, so I can find those neuromods. If I kill a mimic and it has nothing but trash or food on it, then I can pretty much safely skip them. And really everything you see is a different loot table, so every trash can is going to have basically that same kind of loot. And I'm just trying to see how this game's been laid out for us. Now, the big thing we still have to do is figure out the ship. We need to find psychotronics with the psychoscope, and we need to find deep storage so that we can start the power plant quest line.
Investing in engineering neuromods was a wise choice.
We will see how crazy things get here in a second. Okay. Also, this white bar that you see is the stamina. That will run out and you go super, super slow. By simply sliding or jumping, you can kind of keep your speed, but not use up any stamina. So you'll see me slide a ton in this. So we actually got psychotronics right off the start, which is really, really good. This is one of the 2 big areas we have to come to quickly.
The crew might seem a little tense when you come in.
Let's go just kind of
Putting in extra hours.
checking the loot tables here.
So don't worry. Well, that's all. Enjoy the view.
Let's see if we can squeeze through here. Oh, okay, nope, gotta go around. Sometimes with what's randomized in that little spot, you can slip through. Now, I do have to be careful about what spawns down here. There are always enemies. And they could potentially kill me. Let's see. I'm also very undergeared for coming down here. Another neuromod, cool. Pretty much trash there, okay. Well, let's see. Okay, just some mimics. So we need to come down here for the psychoscope, which is going to allow us to scan the coral later on. This is a hard spawned item. You could shuffle it around, but then you're really searching for a needle in a haystack. And he has a glue cannon, which is really, really, really nice. No glue ammo, though. Oh, the glue itself. That's a phantom. Hello. I don't really have the tools to deal with you. Okay, so now we need to find deep storage. Essentially from here, we need to find deep storage so we can do that quest line to turn on the power plant.
They're gonna come
So we can get the coral scan data quest. Then we have to deal with Doll in the shuttle bay. Find Casper, go back to Arboretum to get the null wave quest, come back to Psychotronics, and then go to the bridge. That is our through line for the entire seed. We just have to make all of that happen. A lot easier said than done. So the entire ship's randomized, so deep storage could be the very last place we check. And it could be locked behind a different quest line as well.
Will it tell you when you're traveling out to certain places, like what's behind the door?
You have to check the door itself. So there is a map. I don't know if it's going to show me. So the station map, which normally tells you where everything is, does not change with the randomizer. So we actually have to check the door itself. So this door up here is going to tell me what's on the other side. Sometimes they're locked. You'd be like, oh, that's lobby or something. Oh, it actually is lobby, so you can see. Lobby and Arboretum are the two biggest places because they connect to several other places. So finding them early is really nice. So if we can find Arboretum, that'd be great. Okay, so yeah, this one, for example, is locked until we do the general access keycard quest. And we need to go back to Psychotronics. And we know the other end is connected to Neuromod, so we have to do this quest now. But if I hadn't come from that way, I know I'd have to do it anyways, so let's run upstairs and check that. Actually, we can do a little bit of a sneaky trick by buying Mimic Matter here. Normally, you're supposed to do the General Access Keycard quest so you can get down to the basement to go where Psychotronics normally is. Because I know I have to do that, I kind of want to see what's in the bottom anyways, even if I'm not currently going there. I'm going to make a save. Here, real quick, we're going to do what's known as save scumming. It's not letting me do that. Okay, sure. And just pop through there.
Psychotronics is the opposite of safe, Morgan. What are you after?
So once I've done this, I can just reload that save. So this is Shuttle Bay, another very important spot to go to. That we will eventually get access to, but for now, we just need that information. So I got really lucky in the fact that there's not a nightmare just trolling the lobby. Do some very nicely placed jumps. Okay, so this is Morgan's office, our office, and this is where we start the General Access Keycard quest by playing this. You go through this long cutscene with yourself, and if you couldn't already tell, all the voice lines are randomized, so this is going to make 0 sense. And we might hear some nice breathing. We got our glue ammo and a Typhon lure, which is huge. Typhon lures are amazing for when you run into nightmares eventually.
If just one of those creatures gets back to Earth, we'll try to stop you. Yet.
So this also locks us in until the cutscene's done, unfortunately.
Mechanism.
It never gets old.
You do know, you snake. How can you sit there? October will help you remember what you're supposed to do if things go sideways. Why? I mean, look at this.
So if you're worried about spoilers from watching this,
You designed the tests.
not really going to
I know
happen.
they exist because of the things we did.
Dude, this is like
Why?
the logical next step for when you edit all the cutscenes. It's just
Yeah, people are worried
randomizing
about AI taking over. This is what you're going to get most of the time.
it. Yep.
All right, so she's saying, oh, the video's corrupted. Oh, no. You have to go to Dr. Calvino's lab and hardware labs. So to continue this quest line, we need to find that wherever it may be.
I know you have a lot of questions.
So there's 2 more connections that we can check here. There's a fun little thing with January and her voice lines. There is a couple files in the game of January from development when they had a previous voice actress, which I believe was just a dev at the time, doing some lines. So every now and then January will sound a little bit different. This is a nice Moonrock statue.
I don't want anyone devoting resources to this. Say you managed to insert human neurons into a TIE film. How will you know it was successful?
So really the biggest thing we have to worry about in terms of like a potential soft lock that just really shouldn't happen is at the very top of the elevator lobby, or the lobby elevator, I should say. There is a hyphen that will spawn, and because it's randomized, sometimes that will like spawn out of bounds, depending on what it is, or it's just a very specific spawn that causes some issues, which hopefully won't happen, but we'll see. Yeah, once these shutters go up, we can leave. Oh, and there actually is a nightmare in the lobby. These took a while to show up. Yeah, that's a real big pain. We're gonna try to stay away from him. Check this up here. See what we got. We have cargo bay. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of cargo bay because it's one of the levels that has just 2 connections. It has one that we'll have to go through later. So yeah, we'll go back this way. We will have to come here after deep storage, and that is the only way to go out. So we know that. Just want to check what this is. Unless this is Guts or Arboretum, we're pretty much going to go back to the lobby and check the other one. The reason I hate this so much is I really don't like the zero gravity flying. It is not the greatest thing in the world. All right, what do we got? Got to spin around. Guts. Sure. We'll see what this takes us.
I'm assuming that the randomizer logic for like the room order won't lock you out. There's probably settings for that, I guess. All right.
Yes. So over time, there were some things put in place to prevent it from connecting levels that are just have one connection, like Neuromod division connecting to another one that goes to one, and a couple others that could cause some issues. I believe in all of these settings that we have currently, it shouldn't soft lock that way. Keycard Rando, I think, still might have some issues there. Okay, so we need this to check this door. And it also unlocks a door in the shuttle bay itself. Deep storage. Okay, we found deep storage really, really quickly.
Nice.
This is the other of the 2 quests that we have to start the randomizer off with. This is actually going to take us back to cargo bay once we get done with it, which is kind of funny. We'll go back to lobby and check where that goes to. Deep storage is a very dangerous place.
He was a solid engineer. I think he was suspicious of the more exotic components. You're the bridge between our species.
This is also a seed that has not really given me
Know if you see us.
any real means to fight the Typhon.
Until now.
Okay, I forgot how to glue gun.
Shane, it had your voice. I knew from the video you'd done so. Live without.
All right, let's see. How many? I picked up 3. 3 is not enough for what I want. So let's get Phantom Shift real quick. So Phantom Shift's a really cool ability that I didn't really start using until a couple of weeks ago. It kind of works like a Link from Dishonored, a little quick teleport forward, but it leaves behind a phantom copy that will draw the attention of things like a phantom, which I need to put on.
If you scan enough Typhon organisms, you'll be able to install neuromods that are powerful, but they're the reason we're in this mess.
So I noticed earlier when you were going through the neuromods that you were looking specifically for things like hacking 1 and not like hacking 2. Is hacking 2 like broken? Like, can you not use it until you get hacking 1 or something like that?
So the way the game works with the hacking leverage and repair is if you have hacking 3, that does not give you hacking 2 and 1. And most things that we're going to experience and run into are only going to take repair 1 or hacking 1, which makes them way more valuable. And unfortunately, like I said, hacking 2 and hacking 3 won't give me that, so I have to buy hacking 1. There is some rare circumstances where you need something higher, but a lot of that stuff is more optional quest lines. Okay. Cystoids are real pains to deal with. And now we get the fun job of going up to the office. This is usually where things get a little tricky.
Think about the end. Focus on what's in front of you. One step at a time.
So the glue gun is really, really nice to have because it just lets you climb basically anything you want.
Non-existent. I can't reach anyone on their transcribes. Sorry, Commander Dahl.
So we need to start this transfer. Let's throw something down real quick. Oh, hello. It gets real dangerous real fast. Okay.
It's me.
So I still need to be in there, but we have to let some dialogue play out real quick. And while it's going... Oh, hey, buddy. Medical operators will actually heal you. He doesn't run away. I'm just going to be safe and not be in that room.
There are many operators aboard Talos 1, but none of them are like me. You should go. I'll contact you when you've made it to Alex's office. Keep moving.
So a lot of times you just like use a shotgun or type an ability to just kill off all the things in this room and wait in here, but I don't really have good combat in this seed. I can't really do that.
It could mean a low drive for retribution.
He killed Abby. I should have told you what happened at TranStar Boston. About Jessica.
Also, a lot of times when you see me pull up the weapon wheel like this, I'm just using it to eat food in my inventory real fast.
You family go. Morgan? This is Chief Show.
So oh, hello.
Not yet. No. Ma, Emma.
Keep storage is probably the most dangerous place to be. There's not a nightmare around. It's usually a pretty tough area to get through. Alright, so we need to open up a thing on the file here. Data Vault B. Grab whatever that is. Okay. Checking some more things. Hello. Okay, this is going to take us to the outside of the ship, and then that's going to lead us down to Cargo Bay. Ooh. So now what we want to find once we get back in the cargo bay in the ship is we need to find the power plant. Power plant is our next stop, but once again, we haven't even found Arboretum yet. We haven't explored the other half of Guts, so there's a lot of the ship still to explore. Arboretum, and if we can find hardware labs that we have to do as well, can give us a lot of loot. It's just a matter of finding them. There's also still the potential that we have to do the crew quarters quest line, and I really hope that's not the case. Usually you can skip it, depending on what's typically locked behind the deep storage door. But we shall see.
It's interesting that the voice lines in the actual cutscenes are changed. I would have thought that was like pre-rendered.
Okay. So one thing that is not randomized, despite the entire ship being changed, is the exterior. The exterior is not randomized just because it'd add a whole lot of mess and complication to the mod. So it's a little bit of a nice thing to have. We try to route in the exterior when the ship layout's really, really bad. A lot of times it's going to be faster just to run through the interior of the ship to get from place to place, but if you get a really, really nasty layout, going outside the ship can be your saving grace. One thing you'll notice when I get down here is I'm going to put in a code that's always going to be the same. Codes are not randomized at all. Thank goodness.
This can't be the only way, Morgan. Please.
There's not really a good reason to randomize them. So this is going to be 20 through 12.
You know, there was a time when we invested research.
So it's going to pull in the ship that we can open and go in the cargo bay.
All your twisted bullshit eventually catches up to you. No way around
Okay. So it's going to open up.
Sweep the area again. Word is the smuggler is
Cargo
moving the
bay
contraband
usually
out
gives you
during
the quest of
next
like helping the survivors fight off the Typhon trying to get to them. We don't care about that quest line at all. We're just gonna check some loot and get out of here. But we've already been in cargo bay, so we know the connection here goes back to lobby. We have the other one that goes to guts, which I'd prefer to go through, but that actually gets locked down from the current quest line we're on. Oh, hello, Phantom. Why are you here? We got a table. That's how I feel.
I'm sure you feel disoriented.
The combination of those lines.
Okay, is the door open? The door is open. They're already fighting the Typhon. Nice.
Power's coming back online.
Just checking here. This is a lovely poster.
The main lift too. I hope. If only we'd had those turrets.
But even just finding food's like really, really nice, especially in a seed like this where we really don't have a way to fight off the Typhon at all. Not currently. Just being able to straight up heal through any fights is pretty great. Okay. What kind of Typhon do we even have in here? Can I get by? Oh, they're killing them off. Okay, cool.
Makes me miss home.
You know what happened.
Holy! Always no way.
Okay, toolboxes have psi hypos. That's really nice to know. Psi hypos allow us to use psi abilities like our Phantom Shift or Mimic Matter. And usually are pretty low on that. We found a pistol, no ammo. Weapon upgrade kits for the most part just kind of take up room, so you just kind of bam them roll quick without even looking.
Machine shop. I was just.
Okay.
I heard an
Excuse me.
explosion.
Wish there had been a way to talk sense to.
A couple more things and then back to the lobby. We have one connection there that is currently locked. I don't remember the code for that. Okay, let's go see what's typically at the Neuromod division. I mean, this, unless somehow it did soft lock, which I don't think is possible with the setting, should be something like life support, Arboretum. I think it has to be one of those two. If it really opens Arboretum. We're going to check the vending machines real quick. They have pretty much nothing. Okay. Good to know. Hello. Oh, the nightmare found me. Oh, that guy found me. Hello. Okay. That's a little scary. Oh, a shotgun. Wish I'd come over here earlier. Okay, so it is life support. Life support has two other connections. Really, we just want to find Arboretum. Arboretum is going to be our gateway to the rest of the seed. Just because it has so many other spots that I can connect to, and our late game quests go through there as well. Here's a couple shots. You know, we're on aimbot. We got to shoot a couple things.
Gotta show off a little bit.
Nice stuff here, actually. Ooh, that is Arboretum, but it's locked down with the quest line we have. That's kind of brutal. Okay, what do we got? What do we got at the bottom? This is gonna make or break things here. Because we're currently on the power plant quest line, this is going to get locked. We have to go kill a Typhon to get this open, but it is crew quarters. Ooh. That's interesting. Well.
Seems like at least the enemy spawns are being nice. That they're not like being extremely cruel.
Yeah, you don't really run into like, I think there is some weight to what shows up.
It's not going to be just nightmares constantly. Unless you put on that one setting that Shape in the Glass was talking about.
My hotbar is a mess right now. Okay. Go clean up our inventory. This is powered down. Wow. It looked like it was just open. There is somewhat of a trick you can do half the time. You shock something that's powered down, sometimes it'll reboot. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Okay. But with crew quarters being down, that is a frightening thing, because that might actually mean we got soft locked. I need to think through one more connection. Let's see. Oh my, everything's broken. Okay. Let's drop this baseball glove real quick. Can't see anything. Wow, this is just... It's a marathon seat, I can say that at least. So crew quarters is actually a dead end. We might have to do some shenanigans to get to the bottom of the lobby. So the lobby elevator is typically the thing that's going to soft lock you. If it does happen, either there's going to be something that spawns at the top that you can't kill, or because of a quest line like we currently have, it's going to lock you out of it. I think that may have happened. I'm going to go check over here for some loot, but more than likely we might have to do a little cheaty shenanigans to get around the lobby elevator, which is even more of a nightmare because there's a nightmare there. So in these settings, there's not really a great reason to come in the crew quarters, unless you have to do the deep storage quest line. We don't currently know if we have to or not. But there is a decent amount of loot here. It's looking for a little bit of glue. We did not find. Okay. So one of the nicest places you can try to find loot is the gym lockers. Some very weird jump setups that I found in this game. Okay. It's the fun of Prey Rando. Oh, there are. Okay. There are plenty of people there. Normally, if you run through a game, especially a speedrun, you're going to be locked into one route and you're going to know very specific tricks, and that's all you're going to know. But a randomizer requires you to know tons of different tricks that you may only use a handful of times in every map.
Yeah, I was going to mention when you talked about like getting around from place to place, like this really, especially the randomized locations, like you got to know basically any state that you're in, right?
Yes. You have to know all of the quest lines that you're doing and what they can change and what you may need to get around said thing. There is like nothing in these loot tables. This is all junk. Oh man. What kind of seed did I roll? Okay. How far back does this go? Okay, that's what I thought. All right, we're going to do a bunch of save scumming because we found really nothing of importance, and I do think, in fact, that this seed got soft blocked, which is super unlucky.
But it let me listen to them, despite the self-incriminating content.
So we're actually going to take a page out of any percent and go back to the lobby, which luckily found a glue cannon.
It was locked down and the hull was breached. No power, no air.
What the seed really wanted us to do is not go into deep storage right away. It wanted us to continue exploring down guts and then unlocking some other ways, doing the General Access Keycard quest. It sees those as a valid way to get to Arboretum and progress the seed, but by doing this quest, which locks down part of the ship, we kind of locked ourselves out of that solution. Okay. Well, this is going to be real interesting here. This nightmare about. And there's a poltergeist.
Oop.
Poltergeists usually aren't a big problem. They're usually just more annoying than anything. But when you're trying to do a pretty spicy trick, they're not fun to have around. Okay. I'm also very limited on glue, so I have to be kind of ready to try to get a moment's notice. That's too high. Okay. This is a little bit of a cheeky strat that we try not to do in Prey Rando. By we, I mean pretty much just me. But it's a little special occasion. Luckily in Prey Moon Crash, this is stuff we don't have to deal with. It's a little bit more streamlined. Probably dead here. Oh, hello. Okay, so the nightmare is hiding out over there. Interesting. Oh, hello. Woo, okay. That was the nightmare just on the right. Hug this corner so we don't take fall damage. Oh, we did, but we didn't die. Okay, now the real fun begins. This is one that I have not really messed with in a long time. So this is a clip that you'd see in typically any percent, although I think nowadays it might even get skipped with a level warp. Whereby forcing yourself between two things of glue, you can skip on through. They have to be placed just right, so that you can kind of sneak between them.
Yeah, you got to kind of mantle the bottom one, right?
Yes, so you have to be on the top and then drop to the second one and mantle on your way down. The spacing is very, very tricky to nail. I'm just placing the bottom one a little too high. That's still too high. I think so, yeah. The good news is we already found our quest stuff. So once we get past this, and we break the soft lock, then we should be good for the rest of the seed. We found those pretty fast, so I don't think it'll take too long. This doesn't want to place? Okay.
Dang.
That's still really too high. Oh, wow. This is a trick I really haven't done since I ran any percent, which is a long time ago. If I had a lot of glue, we would just climb up to the top of Arboretum, or the top of lobby into Arboretum. That's an even more fun trick.
Yeah, this just seems super tight. Man, holy moly.
It really doesn't want to let me in there. Okay, the gap is wide enough. Doesn't wanna. Bottom glue is not being my friend.
Oof.
Surely this time. Oh, it looks so good. It really just doesn't want me to climb that. All right, there we go.
You've left me no choice.
Don't speedrun
There we
games,
go.
kids. Don't use glitches. It's a bad
Yeah.
idea. Okay.
That was all legit. They
So
Dev
it is
intended.
in fact Arboretum. Yeah. Okay. But that was not about saving time. That was just breaking through a soft lock that the randomizer had. So if we didn't do that, the only other option would be to roll a new seed, essentially. So it is a pretty rare circumstance, but it can happen. What kind of trees we got? Recycler charged trees. Not the best sight I've ever seen, but you know, we'll take those. Recycling is saving the environment after all.
And the only reason you had to break that soft lock in the first place is because for the randomizer rules, you just don't go out of bounds, right? Or like don't do
Yes.
the glitches.
So a glitch like that can just get you past so much stuff that you kind of bypass the whole needing randomization at all. And then you're just like doing any percent with extra steps.
Yeah, it's just
So
find a glue gun and then break the game.
Yeah, exactly. So I personally try not to clip out of bounds or do a clip like that. But yeah, once again, because I literally couldn't progress the seed anymore, relying on speedrun knowledge, we can at least continue and show you what randomizer would typically look like. Okay, we got a little food tree. And our plants are garbage, okay? What are the bananas? Oh, a little bit of exotic material. Okay, nothing crazy. A little bit more fun when they're neuromods or like shotguns, but that stuff will do. Let's go check what everything else is. So we know one of these goes to life support, because that is the probably more intended way to get here. Had I not done deep storage first, there are a couple other connections we got to go check. So that enemy right there can be really, really annoying if it happens to be a nightmare. One of the worst spawns you can get for a nightmare because it's such a closed off area that a lot of times you need to go through. That's power plant. Oh, hello. The next thing we needed. We still have to find hardware labs for the general access keycard quest that we started in the lobby. We do need that at some point.
I know you have
Oh, 20 bullets. Lovely.
but if you find some evidence
Any sort of ammo we can find is a blessing at the moment.
Morgan, we're running out of time. Are you outside the station?
It's me.
So the operators will have human voices, and sometimes them yelling will really confuse you. We'll be on about the like broken leg and oh hello, that is another nightmare. So fun fact about this fire, you can just kind of stand in the corner and ignore it. So we're gonna open up the exterior. I can't really leave via the exterior because we never opened any others. But it's just nice to have open. We know this goes back to Arboretum, so if Hardware Labs or something is in a really, really awful spot, it might be faster just to use the exterior. All right, so we did deep storage, so this gets opened for us. We don't have to put in the key card because the randomizer is going to randomize. Let's see if I can pull this off. One little thing you can do with Phantom Shift is just cancel all momentum. There's plenty of different ways to cancel momentum in this game. That's just kind of a nifty one that you don't get to see too often. You can also just grab a ledge, use propulsion. You can use a lot of things. Okay. So I hate cystoids, but they will go after the grenade. Any grenade works. Also, do we have anti-reds? We do. Awesome. So we can get radiation poisoning from the reactor once we start it up. So having anti-reds is really, really nice. We've got some time to check here. Some more bullets, lovely. Okay, so this is where Repair 1 will come in really handy. I don't think we can afford it. I think Repair 1 was quite expensive. Yeah, it's 15. So we have to wait for this door to open so we can actually repair it. After we do this, we have to go all the way back up. So you would repair this and just take the grav shaft up. If you have a lot of glue, you can just climb the grav shaft even if it's broken. We don't have glue either, so we gotta climb and store. And depending on what spawns, it could be a very deadly climb. One of my favorite things about the randomizer is we have a diverter here. We take out a broken diverter in here, and it's just gonna turn into something random.
I also found some food on the way up. Left it
So
on the
yeah,
desk.
that's a box. Okay, so we got radiation. Let's get rid of that. Radiation takes away stamina faster and just makes it really awful to walk around. Okay. Let's go see what spawned in.
Igwe, you're still better off than you were in that cargo crate. Morgan, if you need to resupply,
See if I remember
come to
my
the office.
climb out of
I
here,
have
too.
more ammo and medical supplies. That would be inhuman. Even with those rewind. I don't think
So
it's
luckily
going to
in
risk
Prey, you can
yourself.
climb just about any little ledge you find.
I traced your arming key. It was
If
the
you have
key
to
from
parkour
making
your
a
way up
huge
to the top of the
mistake.
level, it's pretty easy to
I
do
don't
so,
think you'll do it.
even without
I don't.
mobility or
Because I used to
propulsion or
think we
glue.
couldn't be trusted to play with fire without burning the house down.
Gotta use my 3 things of glue very sparingly to get up here. Okay, glue is just not... Oh yeah, poltergeist. Going up again. Okay, from here we should be able to just climb the stairs and run to the exit. A bit longer route than climbing the grab shaft, but it's nice to run every now and then. All right, now that we have this, we can go back to Arboretum, which is our connection, and that's going to give us the scan the coral quest line, so we can begin that one as well.
Hurry. About time.
We're still missing the hardware lab, so we need to still search for that.
Reactor detonation imminent.
Where did that nightmare run off to? It's always a scary thing to ask yourself. When you find a nightmare and then you go back and they're just not there, you're just looking over your shoulder the whole time. Luckily, we don't have to come back here. What do you got? Right-clicked when I should have left-clicked. Once again, if you can't keep up with this, don't worry. It's very hard for me to keep up with it as well. It's a lot of on-the-fly routing. The entire ship's randomized. All the tables are randomized for the loot. So it's a lot of mental processing and trying to communicate that effectively is a pretty challenging task. Even if you know the game pretty well. Moon Crash should be a little bit more of a relaxed experience. Siphon lore, that's huge. All right, what do we got back here? We have hardware labs. Hey, cool. So if you see glass in this game, there's probably something behind it, below it, above it, whatever. We will go do that quest line before we do oral scan quest line. Actually, we can kind of knock out both at once. This is where routing really becomes fun. Okay. I don't have the glue to do this. You can climb up through this little lake. But before we go in hardware labs, which is the next place we're going to go, we're going to check the other exit. And then we're going to open up the exterior because we can kind of route in the scanning the coral quest line with hardware labs. Because hardware labs requires you to go outside the ship as well, which is where the coral is. Let's see what is here. Life support. Okay, so that's where we were supposed to come in. Arboretum. There's a lot of dangerous monsters nearby. So this door, before you do power plant and turn it back on, is locked behind the crew quarters quest line. But once you do turn on the reactor, this actually just unlocks because it thinks you've already done this. That's guts. Okay, interesting. What connection of guts is this? Is this Psychotronics or is this Arboretum? So we still have one more connection in guts that we haven't found. We know one was cargo bay and we know one was deep storage. Okay, this is Arboretum. So there's one. The end of Psychotronics, interesting. We also still have to find the bridge, which is how you end the game. So it very well could be there. Okay, so now we're gonna go back up to Alex's office. We get a little bit of a break in the run. We get to watch another lovely cutscene. Oh, and that's broken today. Awesome. Okay, it's fine. Plenty of things to climb. That is the great thing about Prey, is that you can climb pretty much just anything you want. And it just works.
Thank you, Morgan. Right. They've evolved an organism just to kill you. Incredible. Well, here we are. Hopefully you'll never have to listen to this recording, but if you do...
So I actually have to wait for Alex to finish talking here so we actually get the quest line.
All I want is to have my brother back so we can finish what we...
While I got a second, I'm going to kind of take control of my inventory here. Want that 2, 3. Okay. So now we get to see what Alex gets randomized to.
It's kind of interesting that,
Little bit
like,
of a chat.
it's kind of interesting that Alex's lines sort of have been, like, relatively coherent to the story, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Don't notice anything wrong.
We'll see if it plays out here as well.
Work obsessed. Let me introduce medical record.
Once they start talking back and forth, it becomes even more of a trip.
Angry. Perhaps you blame me for what's happened.
I know how it sounds, but you've seen what those creatures can do. I know you know what I'm talking about. I said no. Soon.
That's why I've taken the main lift offline.
Because Alex is a bigger model, he can only really be randomized with the chef in crew quarters. So you either get like his base model or the more scuffed version.
Not about your test, but suspects. Is trustworthy, but doesn't trust Alex. Or you. Alex has one, You had the other until Alex threw it into a recycler. Well, that's exactly what Alex did.
It's good to lay eyes on you after everything that's happened. The heart of the coral is in cybertronics. In the original containment cylinder. I lost my brother.
I keep having this dream. You'll have to die to make this right.
Oh my god.
Right. Because my big brother is paranoid.
That's interesting that Alex's model is randomized like based on his size.
Yeah, I don't know if like it would necessarily break things if he was just completely randomized. It's just how the randomizer was put together.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes total sense because there's like character model interaction.
A little bit more waiting, and we're gonna get the quest line here.
Careful. You should be safe in deep
I always love when characters go through this big animation, they're waving their hands and talking, and it's like a very, very short dialogue. So they say like two words.
Coughing.
And then just,
Not until I've had a chance to explain everything in person. For now, just Mr. Hale, Hunter, and more importantly, our past today.
So we're not going to do this quest line immediately. We're going to kind of rope it into hardware labs here. I'm going to go ahead and equip this though. It is pretty nice. Just kind of check out what I have. Nothing really super useful. The chipsets never really mattered too much. Propulsion Gen 1 and 2 can be helpful if you find them, but you don't always get propulsion either. Oop, hello, Mimic. So hopefully in Hardware Labs, we're going to find quite a few items that really, really help. We also really hope the fabricator is working so that we can actually fabricate propulsion and we don't have to leave and then come back. That's kind of annoying. That's where Repair 1 would come in handy. Oh, yeah, we get more glue. Awesome. Thank you. It's a good sign already. Another neuromod. Love to see it. Get some trash out of here. See what we have. Usually these are pretty nice to me. You know, we'll take a med kit, but I can't really fit in my inventory at the moment. Might have to remember that. Not the greatest loot. Why is the banana not stacking with the other banana? That's weird. All right, let's go see what Frosty has for us. Frosty is this little snowman made up of glue over here. He's got a whole bunch of random stuff in him.
For another way to help you.
Nothing really. Frosty was not of help today. Oh, and power's down.
I found a satellite project dealing with remote
it's important to know. We will need to turn that back on.
X5. I've been thinking about the video Alex showed you.
I keep misreading the subtitles on screen and thinking that one of them is about to say wrench.
Do I have any nightmares in here? No, just a bunch of phantoms, which are pretty terrifying, and everything over there is broken. Awesome. Hey, 26 shotgun shells. That is really awesome to find, actually. Thank you. I will take that. Our first bit of shotgun ammo in the entire seed. My inventory is just not being into me today.
Does the recycler duping work in the randomizer, or is that another thing you tried to stay away from?
It would if this was on a down patch version of the game. Arcane did patch it out, and this is run on the current patch. So something that's not available. How many neurobots have I? 15. We might able. Oh yeah, repair 1. This is 5. Cool. And we can't craft it. Awesome. I think we might be able to make some shotgun shells too. So you do have to worry about making the null wave device later on, but you can always recycle some stuff if need be. Okay. So this is where we're gonna knock out two things of quests.
Be cautious. Your brother is unstable.
The only downside about doing two things here is the exterior is always really confusing for me to navigate. I don't know what it is about the exterior. I always get lost. It's just so disorientating floating around in zero gravity. We'll see if we can find out where this needs to be. Then you come out here to this explosion so we can get the key card to Dr. Calvino's lab. This is for the hardware quest lab. Hardware lab quests. I think my commentary is getting randomized. Okay.
That would be interesting.
I'm sorry, Morgan. I didn't want to harm your brother. He invented the looking glass technology.
Yeah, I just need to script out everything I'm going to say, then like shuffled around for one of these runs.
My brother's office is up here as well. Jupiter and his palace at the top of the heavens.
But with zero gravity, some enemies aren't ever meant to be in zero gravity, like a mimic, so it just goes into stasis and it sits there and does nothing, which is awesome. However, if a nightmare goes into zero gravity, it also goes into stasis and it just starts firing off its abilities, which is even scarier than a typical nightmare. Because those you have a chance to like outrun and get away from. A stasis nightmare is just bad news. Okay.
I'm not arguing with a glorified desktop. Kill it.
Nothing that interferes with memory formation.
So now we have both of these.
I'm impressed, Morgan. You can shoot me, but you won't be able to stop what's coming.
So that progresses that storyline. Now we need to make our way back to Hardware Labs, which I think's over this way. This is the way I came from. Yes, okay. Luckily, on the outside of the ship, they just decided to write what area it is in big letters, so it's a little easy to find.
Tell you it's not gonna let you.
Oh, hey, this is Hardware Labs.
The device you mentioned, it's an advanced version of the null wave. But I want to know.
So once we kind of get onto the Coral quest line, we pretty much have a good read on the ship and how it's laid out and how it's all connected. So it's really just about rushing through the quest as fast as we can. There's not a lot left that we really need to discover randomized-wise. Meaning we pretty much know all the loot tables, or at least the big important ones. It's gonna make me go all the way around. And we know pretty much the ship. We still have to find the bridge, which I am pretty convinced is going to be at the end of Guts. I think that is one of the only places we have left to check. Either that or at the other end of Shuttle Bay, which we can check once we go there. So now we can go into Dr. Calvino's lab with the key card we got on the exterior. I always have to come down here and repair this machine.
Is it possible to roll a seed in such a way that you like won't visit every map? That you just like get a randomly very good path
So
through?
depending on the settings and yeah, how things are laid out, that might happen. It's like we never had to go to crew quarters in this one at all. We didn't have to do that quest line. We need to find out what server connect. If you do key card rando, that can skip the general access key card quest line entirely, depending on, I didn't read what it was. Where you actually find that, all servers online. Interesting. is that not progressing? Is it just already fixed? If so, that's a randomization setting I didn't know existed. Okay. Well, let's go back to the lobby and see what happens. That might also update depending on the quest completed. I don't think so, but could happen. This hallway is a bit of a death trap because if you have a phantom behind you or a nightmare that can just shoot straight at you, you can't really dodge the shot at all. So using phantom shift to get through there a little bit faster, and also just hoping he looks away from me for a moment.
So, once you start the test, just do whatever comes natural. Kill it! We spent years.
So now we have propulsion, and we have
do into us.
propulsion chipset too. It gives us a little boost every time we use the jetpack, so we can kind of climb up faster than we were before, which is really nice. Something I usually don't have and don't get to play with. It's kind of fun. All right, we get a little cutscene once again, and then we have Doll showing up, and we have to go back down the shuttle bay, which is in the lobby, which is also where we have to go for the General Access Keycard quest. So once again, that kind of ties together. We actually have glue this time.
Was a failure, but it's clear you've come to the same conclusion as the board. A complete reset is necessary.
We'll be in orbit next week. I promise.
Oh, there's phantom over here now.
Rig the main con terminal to trigger the null wave device. How does it feel? Do you remember?
We had to pick up the key card for this, so we can go back to the lobby pretty quickly. At this point, we should have a pretty clear-cut path to the end. It just kind of takes a while to run through all the things and find out where everything's located once again. Oh, right, we can't go that way. We have to go through the life support. I did forget that was the elevator that we broke. There's so much you have to learn on the fly. You could write it all down, but we don't got time for that. Okay, we have to go through life support. Let's do that.
It's I can't see your cam because obviously I'm only watching your game. I figured you were writing stuff down when you were looking at stuff in the beginning.
This is all short-term memory. This is why I hardly ever do more than one seed in a given night, because then things start to overlap, and you're like, wait, was this seed or last seed?
Start to blur things together. Yeah.
I do have a couple notes for Moon Crash, but for Prey Rando, I usually try just to keep track of it in my head. It's a little memory exercise as well. Helps out. Okay, so life support is going to take us back to lobby, which is cool.
Would have done the same thing to me. The rest of us should get a turnaround on your knees.
Another Typhon! I was going to kill you
One
anyway.
great thing about Prey and the level design behind it, shouts out to Arcane, is there's so many different ways you can get around every map that you can kind of avoid enemies. So there's that little section of piping at the top you can climb up on. Just tons of different ways to get around, which makes it really great when you don't have a lot of ammo or neuromods or some sort of way to deal with the Typhon.
Condition imminent. Please stand by. Attention. Incoming shipments from Earth have been temporarily delayed.
So this is saying it's fixed. I'm still not convinced, but the game says it is, so let's see. Yeah, I didn't... Okay, that is really weird. Let's save here real quick and do a little bit of a run around. It may have been conflicting quests going on at the same time that didn't let it work. If this soft locks, I don't have a way around it? Question mark?
I was going to kill you anyway. I leave my operator feeds on.
There might be one.
Just keep watching.
This is... I've never had that quest line to say everything's working, though. That's a bit strange. That's never happened before. Trademark. Okay, let's go back to hardware labs and see what's going on.
Warning, microgravity condition imminent. Please stand by. Attention, incoming shipments from Earth have been temporarily delayed. Personnel are directed to clear up backlog deliveries until notified by...
If this, for some reason, still is saying everything's just fine, we'll check at the end of Guts to see if we can't go into Shuttle Bay from the backside. There are still 2 connections we're unsure of. We don't know what connects at the top of the lobby. We don't know the other end of Shuttle Bay, and we don't know where Bridge is. Okay, please tell me something's all servers online, really? Huh. Let me just click on some stuff and see what happens. Yeah, that's online. Honestly, a bug I've never encountered in all of my time playing Prey. These guys are just being jerks now. Really? That is, that is interesting. Okay. So how far back does my... okay. Well, gonna see what happens. This is a sea that somehow found 2 soft locks. I'm gonna be just flabbergasted. The oh man. Big issues. We're gonna need this to work at some point. Okay. Let's go to Guts. I can confidently tell you Moon Crash will not soft lock on us.
I've seen you do that, Ron, and I'm impressed with the fact that you apparently don't have notes for that either.
I have very brief notes. Actually, for Moon Crash, originally I had a 7-page notepad flowchart for it, but we've kind of condensed it over time. So this should lead us to Guts. We really hope the other end of Guts is going to Shuttle Bay. This goes to Bridge. It might... Well... So there is a super duper secret backup in Bridge. What we're hoping for is this end to be Shuttle Bay, and that's going to wrap up the doll quest line, and really hope it's not. Oh man, there's so much just riding on this being Shuttle Bay, and then what comes after Shuttle Bay not to be even more problematic. So once you do Shuttle Bay, you have to go find Casper, and 2 of his spawns consist in Psychotronics and Neuromod Division, which are currently locked behind the quest that we're trying to fix. He can spawn on the exterior, and he can spawn in Hardware Labs.
I believe. I'm believing. I'm all in.
That's why he suffered no memory loss when the testing resumed. There was no
So there's just a little cutscene you get going through the section. Can't really avoid it.
mod implanted to begin with. I see now.
Your brother is correct. When you destroy Talos 1, my directive is to ensure that you perish along with it. Hello, Morgan. My name is January. If you want to know what's going on, first
Just
you need
get
to
me
get
out of where
of
I
your apartment
am.
building.
These stories are a real pain in the ass. Okay.
These tunnels run the entire length of the station. Mostly
So normally you're coming from Psychotronics very early on, and this is your first introductory into Guts, and you're coming the other way. You're going this way, and everything's locked, and you have to like deal with fans and get them out of the way. Coming from this direction just lets you open all the doors, which is great. Coming the normal way is a real pain too.
Or what's left of him with the security roster.
Okay, let's see what happens here. We're really hoping this is Shuttle Bay. Shuttle Bay or potentially Bridge. I don't know if Bridge can fix this problem. It is the lobby. Oh, is this top of... Is this the top of the elevator? Oh, no. Oh, is this finally the top of the elevator? That's the one thing I really didn't want to see.
Morgan might have reached similar conclusions, but for different reasons. Can you determine how much the drift knows I was
Okay.
thinking? I cannot.
Or back was Talos exterior, quick save. Maybe from the Coral quest line.
It was your idea, after all. The alien neuromods you carry would pose an unacceptable risk to everyone on Earth if you returned. Morgan, that operator was an earlier, defective model. Or something worse. Alex, the Typhon, they're all working against you.
No access. Shape might be correct. We might have to do... Oh god, that's a nightmare. Run away.
Morgan, please enter the pod, Dr. Igwe.
There might be a trick. I mean, this is one I haven't done it or even thought about in possibly years. Well, this is definitely new uncharted waters. Let's see here. You need to not be here anymore. Oh, hello. Why are you... Okay. This is why lobby can be so menacing.
Morgan pausing to open their inventory and just hork down a bunch of boxes of cereal.
Why they broke the glass is really obnoxious.
Ooh.
Biggest problem with this trick that kind of have to resort to is I don't really know where this key card actually spawns out of bounds. Propulsion's actually making this significantly harder. Okay. breaking everything on the way over here. I can safely assure you this is not your typical rando experience. All up.
These enemies are being rough, man. Holy moly.
I have no idea where the technopath went, but we'll take that for now. Okay. Show must go on. Just need him to climb.
Does it turn off your mantle, having the jetpack?
It just wants to boost you everywhere when you go to jump. It's like, oh, clearly you want to use propulsion in this situation, right? Yes. Absolutely 1,000 times yes. Thank you. Oh my God. This is an experience. You thought Doom was all about going through hell? No, Prey Rando is all about going through hell. Oh, it's going everywhere. Oh. Oh, okay, you know what? Had a little brain blast moment. Why do this when we can go back to the top? Oh, we're gonna have to fight something on the way back up. Please not a nightmare. Please. Please not a nightmare. Oh, please don't. Please don't. It's a simple mimic. Whew. Thank you.
At least that was nice.
The only thing to really be nice this entire seed was that mimic.
Split and stretch laceration scan shows cranial hemorrhage. Recommended transfusion loss.
Okay. Remember that one trick we did clip out? Gonna have to do it again.
Scan shows cranial hemorrhage. Internal. Pardon me. Scan shows.
I don't want to have to take it off, but I guess we will.
Cranial hemorrhage. Internal. Pardon me. Split and stretch lacerations. Resultant blood loss. Recommended transfusion.
All right.
Things being cruel.
Yeah, things really aren't going my way today.
Scan shows cranial hemorrhage. Internal. Patient loss. Scan shows cranial hemorrhage. Internal. Pardon me. Split and stretch lacerations. Resultant blood loss. Recommended
Shape is saying it's the curse of the small moon seed.
It really is. Big moon, best. Might be too big of a gap.
Internal. You need professional care, Dr.
The gap between them is very particular when you do this.
Yeah, it seems like you're getting it, and then it's just
Split and stretch
pushing you out.
Resultant blood loss. Recommended transfusion. Please don't harm me.
This was in any other spot. We would have so many other ways to deal with this situation, but it has to be in the one spot. It's pretty untouchable.
Scan shows cranial hemorrhage. Internal. You need professional split and stretch lacerations. Resultant blood loss. Recommended transfusion.
Oh man,
Oh,
I thought that was it. Seems like the propulsion is really screwing you.
Warning.
this is usually pretty darn precise.
Active in the containment area.
The gap has to be just enough.
Commander Walter Dahl. The TranStar Board of Directors has authorized me to take full command of Talos 1. Effective immediately. Your parents will be pleased to know all their time and money hasn't gone to waste.
Recommended
Morgan,
transfusion.
come.
Actually ran out of glue there.
Shows cranial hemorrhage.
All right.
Internal.
First try. First try every
Scan
time.
shows cranial hemorrhage.
That's way too big of a gap. Let's see. Oh, nope, never mind. Okay.
Easy.
I'm gonna do the very space thing of just falling down. Not grabbing anything on the way down. Really thought that was solid. Okay.
Scan shows cranial hemorrhage. Internal. Pardon me. Scan shows cranial hemorrhage. Internal. Patient lost.
Nice.
Scan shows cranial hemorrhage. Internal. Pardon me. Please don't harm me. Split and stretch lacerations. Resultant blood loss.
You can tell how much experience I have doing this trick because how bad it's going.
Yeah.
But
Man.
we never have to do this.
Yeah, because generally if you find a soft lock seed, you just reset the seed, yeah?
Yeah, typically it would just be like, oh, okay, this is a problem. I'm going to report this seed as busted, see what happened in the spoiler log, and then go again. Trying my best to beat this one for you guys.
Split and stretch
So
lacerations.
if we can
Resultant blood loss.
get this key card to work, we're good for the rest, but if not, then really.
Scan shows cranial hemorrhage. Internal. You need professional care, Dr.
Sadly, this is not the worst I've encountered doing a Prey Randomizer. When we did the most insane settings requiring no zero gravity on the outside of the ship and in guts, we did have some like map corruptions and like having to figure out how to deal with files. Get those to work again was a real pain.
Cranial hemorrhage. Internal. Patient loss.
So we're not doing those settings. Okay. This is it. I can feel it.
Yeah, right here. Right now.
Scan shows cranial hemorrhage.
Be able to
Internal.
grab the Ritz glue.
Dang. Just popping out to the side.
The glue is not kind.
Split and stretch lacerations. Result, blood loss. Recommended transfusion. Scan shows cranial hemorrhage. Internal. Professional care, Dr.
That's going to be way too much. Yeah, typically if you can crouch between the two, it's not going to work.
Scan shows cranial hemorrhage. Internal.
Warning, microgravity condition imminent. Please stand by. Live specimen detected and examination.
Scan shows cranial hemorrhage.
Is that when the
Pardon me.
the nightmare spawns, I think? Right?
Internal.
The stuff it's talking about randomly. Or-
Yeah. Oh, I guess that is. Yep, right. Everything's randomized.
So once Doll's been in the ship long enough, like Guts will power down, which I think is what that voice line's referring to. All right, I need chat to believe.
Oh, chat's believing. Chat's behind you all the way.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like this guy knows exactly what he's doing. Professional Prey player.
Split and stretch lacerations.
Nice.
Okay. Got a little save this time. Shouldn't need it, but now the big thing is where exactly is the general access key card? I think you might be.
Perfect.
Okay. Now the problem comes with getting back inside the map. It's the way I know how to do it, which was actually the first trick found in Prey speedrunning altogether, was to climb back up the entire... Wow, the nightmare sees me. That's crazy. Climb all the way back up the outside of the elevator using glue, which is way, way up there. Is a very not fun trick. Okay. Trying to find a nice solid spot to stand that I can actually see what I'm doing, which is not here. Okay. I think we should realistically be able to do the same. You can't really stand here too well. Do the same glue maneuver. Get back in bounds. It lets me. It's not a fun spot to stand.
Yeah, the map is having some fun times trying to render.
I did save here. Yeah, maybe I would just pick the worst place to try to do that back in. Okay. Let's try. Maybe a little bit too wide. Oh, hello. Come to watch.
That's gonna be fun to deal with when you get back inside.
Now just imagine an entire seed full of nightmares
Sounds awful.
that can track you wherever you go. See, everybody always asks, how do you find these out of bounds? It's not about the out of bounds. It's about getting back inside the map.
Yeah, I mean, with Doom, they had a... Oh. Nice of him.
He's breaking my glue now? Okay.
Please stand by. Live specimen detected in
And now he's just shooting outside the map. That is fantastic.
The TranStar Board of Directors has authorized me to take...
Oh.
Oh, enemies are terrific.
It's okay. Just get this first try. Easy money.
Might be... This is very hard to set up at an odd angle like this. Okay.
Chad is once again fully behind you. You've got this.
Oh, here he comes again.
At least the nightmare went away. That's nice.
He's
Oh,
coming
well,
back.
never mind.
Oh, he's doing something.
Microgravity condition imminent. Please stand by. Live specimen detected in examination theater.
This is Commander Walter Dahl. The TranStar Board of Directors has authorized me to take full command of Talos 1, effective immediately. Your parents
Now he wants a
know
hug.
all
Okay.
that time and money hasn't gone to waste.
Dang.
Morgan, come. Nothing. Alex, you can come out now. Or, fine. I can send an operator in after you. But this...
I'm surprised that
this is truly a
this doesn't have like an open ceiling.
You should be proud.
That like
Yeah.
that they really did code the walls out of bounds like correctly.
There's a few spots where you can kind of get back in, but so top of the elevator's usually the go-to place. We just do not have the glue. Where am I stuck here? We don't have the glue necessary. Okay. The bottom might be a little bit more kind to us down here. Let's see.
Is there a door down there that you're trying to get to?
Well, the top of the elevator, there's a little bit of a floor that you can poke up through. I was wondering if the bottom of the elevator had the same thing. I don't think it does. It's gonna be a little too close. Just looking for a way to not have to do this glue trick anymore. Much as people like watching it, I'm sure they're like, oh, please just do this for the next hour and a half. That'd be great. We don't want Moon Crash. I can't say that it's my favorite thing to do. It really does not want me to do that. Okay. One more quick peek. No, that is locked up pretty tight.
Interesting. Lifelike in chat is saying that the clip is frame perfect because of propulsion. Oh. Oh, I thought you got it there. Holy moly.
It's working, but I chose a spot that puts me on a very awkward part of the floor. Also, yes, propulsion does make things much worse. Yeah, I chose a really poor spot to do this in. This is maybe the worst spot you've ever seen. Okay. I think this will be good. That is not good.
Please enter the pod, Dr. Igwe.
Hello, not you.
This is truly a masterpiece. You should be proud.
Back up with our good friends.
As he nails you in the head.
A little bit of a pick your poison.
This is truly a masterpiece. You should be proud.
He is really not happy.
He's
He did
super
not
pissed that
want
you're
back
there.
up here. Yes, speedrun responsibly. You know.
Is truly a masterpiece. You should be proud.
Now that might be a spot we can slip back into. If the nightmare wants to be kind to us.
This is truly a masterpiece. You should be proud.
Always conducting an experiment.
That's a scary thing to hear. Oh, and that is out of glue. That is super fantastic. Some seeds you end up with 700 glue. Sometimes you get 20.
You should be proud.
Just
Oh, there's just a banana out here.
Free banana.
Who doesn't want a nice free space banana? Really?
I wonder if there's a way to hit one of the area travels from out of bounds.
I'm quite surprised this isn't letting me climb up all this. Hey.
Easy.
Well, Phantom Shift is the key. All right. Holy moly, we are good. Woo. All right, beeline to the end. Gotta rush it, gotta rush it. No worries, gotta rush it.
we've got
That
the
is
general
a
access.
brand new speedrun trick, never before seen, never before done. If you ever wonder, how do people find these skips? By spending 20 minutes doing absolutely nothing. You jump against every wall, you try to clip through everything you can, and then eventually something will work. Something will break. Oh, man. Shoutouts to Phantom Shifts. Okay, just gotta hit this real quick. So this dialogue is one of my favorite ones, randomized. Because usually it's just, he's gonna play a certain message telling you where Casper is. So it randomizes the voice line, so it'll tell you a lot of places where it can be. If you stop this and play it again, it shows you instantly where it is, instead of having to wait. Hardware Labs, okay.
Sierra revealed nothing. No survivors.
Actually,
Ideal location would be the station exterior, near the power plant grids. Every one of you thinks that. Keep working.
Oh, so the line that it always plays there is a location line?
yeah, so he'll tell you whether it's Hardware Labs, Neuromod, Exterior, or whatever, and he'll just cycle through all the different ones. Okay, so I mentioned this before, the exterior is not randomized. So because we know we need to go to Hardware Labs and we have that open, instead of running back through, so we'd have to go to Lobby, to Arboretum, and then from there to Hardware Labs and run through it. We can just go outside here instead, just a little bit faster. We need to go leave this way. But, navigating out of bounds, or not out of bounds, outside the ship is a little bit tricky.
I'll transmit the location to your map. Your mind is free of significant Typhon neuromods. I believe the risk you pose to Earth is minimal.
Okay, all we have to do is deal with Casper, run back to Arboretum, which is connected to Hardware Labs, grab that, and then go to Psychotronics and then the bridge. We are really close to being done, so had this not soft locked in 3 different ways, this would have gone underestimate. You know, I'll take some responsibility for how the seed's gone, but
I mean, at least you're learning stuff. And the dev in chat is learning stuff too, I think.
So a fun way to deal with Casper is to just recycle him. All right.
I'll send you the scan locations.
Alex is apparently not a fan of that.
He never really is. So there is a very small potential if I'd played the seed differently, it would have not soft locked, just with the rules set by the randomizer itself. But even then, it probably shouldn't have happened. Had I not gone to the spots I did exactly when I did. Okay, recycle doll. Recycle the phantom. Just recycle everything at this point.
This is good, you got the recycle tree.
So we need something on his body. We could wait until the storm comes in, or you can just zap him to knock him out.
I have to go. Just sit tight, please. Isn't it fascinating? There's something almost angelic about those golden filaments, like frozen light.
So this is another quest that usually locks down part of the ship. and forces you to go to certain doors. Because everything's randomized, that could also potentially soft block us. So instead, we can go through the, like, tentacles that pop up, kind of blocking off areas. We take a little bit of damage from it, but we can get through them without actually dying.
I'll keep digging. It might be useful to us. This key card will...
Okay, so from lobby, we need to go to psychotronics. Which is back where we came into lobby initially. Is the Phantom still lurking? He is, all right. Or the Nightmare, I should say. So we're going to go craft up what we need, which is the null wave device. Plug this in to psychotronics. And then all we have to do from there is run to the bridge.
Was that an accident? I'm generalizing when I say us, of course.
Now we
I'm
might...
not a person. Not like you.
I might have to look for a fabricator, which if that comes to it, then I know of one that's working. Go check down here. Some stuff. Okay, no. Because I think this one may have been powered off, and I don't know if I have the spare parts to fix it. I do not. Okay.
I'm right here.
So usually this stuff's going to block you off. That just kind of spawns everywhere. Yeah, that is. Okay. We're going to take a little bit of a detour, so we have to go find a working fabricator, and we know there's one in Hardware Labs where we just came from, actually. So we're going to make use of... Okay. You are so lovely, game. All right, do I have a... I do not have a Hardware Labs. Okay. That is on me. I thought you could go out that way. Heyo. So yeah, we have to actually fabricate the null wave device so we can plug it in. Was there one in lobby? We spent so much time in lobby, but I did not keep track of it. This is the part where not writing stuff down does become a little problematic. There might be one in the office. No, we know there's one in Hardware Labs. Give them some pretty lights to look at. There is a fabricator. It is working. Hello.
Nice.
We need one more orange. Oh, is there... Oh, there's no recycler around here either. Wow. Okay. Fabrication plans coming in a real clutch. Uh-huh. Where was a working recycler? That is a great question, you might ask.
Do the recycle charges work for that?
They do not. What? They could. I just don't know exactly what is orange, but that is an excellent call. You would make a great randomized runner.
I'm be real. Still have some chat. Shout out chat for saying recycle bombs.
You're absolutely right. That is that's the beauty of randomizer. You know, you get to use so much game knowledge that otherwise you want to have. Also, we should do this exactly in the lobby. A little save scum. If you want to try out this randomizer for yourself, you're like, wow, this guy is awful at this game. I could do so much better. You can go to just Google search Prey Randomizer Mod. You can find it pretty easy. Go to Nexus Mods and search it up there. Check it out yourself. Try out some of the harder settings. Believe me, they are pretty dang hard. All right, let's do this again. Pretty light show, shall we? I don't know how I recommended using recycler grenades, but hit me up after stream. I'll gift you a sub.
Why won't you take the typhoon, weave it out of thin air? The question is why? We have a...
Chat saving the day, the way I love to see it. And now we're almost done. Gotta plug this in. We're making a mad dash to the bridge. It's at the other end of Shuttle Bay. We never confirmed 100,000 million% that it's at the end of Shuttle Bay, but that's the only spot left to check. So, in case we happen to see it before and I've forgotten, then I don't know. Then something's gonna happen. I think I get banned. Is that how it works? If I don't beat the sea, I get banned.
Yeah. Or we just
never see me ever again.
We say the devs are extremely mean and deliberately soft lock the seed on you.
That is also true. They tend to do that. Giving us a little wave. Adorable.
He's just hanging out.
Mm-hmm. Very nice guy. Now, there is a post-credit scene that normally people would be like, oh, that's so cool. It's an amazing twist. That would be even cooler with the randomized voice lines. But because I know we're now behind on time, I think we might just have to skip it today. I will take Phantom's a real pain. Okay. You're indeed the bridge. Cool. We found the end of the game. Now, unless I completely blanked. Also, okay.
I don't know what my...
Just recycle these guys.
Morgan, I will...
Hey, and that is Prey Randomizer. Oh, that was maybe one of the worst seeds I've ever done.
Hey,
I'm going to be completely honest.
You stuck through it, which was impressive.
We found a new speedrun strat. We got around like 3 different soft locks. So that was fun and entertaining. So we can watch the outro if you want. Otherwise, we can set up for Moon Crash.
It's up to you. You're the next runner.
Oh my god, I am the next runner. Oh,
yeah.
That guy before me is such a jerk. Taking so much time.
Well, do you want to shout out the randomizer one more time?
Yeah, so once again, Shaping the Glass in chat is the sole dev of this. Huge shout out to Shaping the Glass for working on this. I mean, obviously we found some soft locks and stuff just because I use a lot of settings in combination that still have the potential. Like I said at the beginning of the run, it is pretty rare. Most of these I don't run into, especially not in that kind. So if you want to play it for yourself, try it out different settings. Like there's a lot harder ones. You can make it easier. Just go to like Nexus Mods and search for Prey. or just Google search Prey Randomizer Mod. It's like one of the first that show up. It's super easy to install and get going.
I was right to ignore him. We're a good team. There's a solar storm coming that's going to shower us with...
This is typically where they kind of tell you how you played the game and how you interacted with people.
We're trapped here. I believe I've isolated the correct
With randomized dialogue, it
Or at least help us hold back
it's a trip.
Typhon.
It is nothing.
No. But
Time's
now
almost
felt
up.
like the right time.
Perhaps it was due to indifference, but it never freed me from the cargo container.
Miss Illusion, my apologies. You are correct, and that was not my intention, but... Morgan? Morgan, this is Dr. Igwe. Can you read me? Alex, can anyone hear me?
Just like we planned.
Thanks for the save. I did not think they'd be able to get to us in here. Wrong as usual.
I broke your arm when I found out. I left something for you on my desk that should help.
Guess your brother's due for a little brotherly insubordination. Now that the lifts are working again, we're going to clear out Dal's shit-can operators and make sure there are no more mishaps with the air on this station. My men told me power's been restored to the fabricator. That was you, wasn't it?
Nice work. Magnetosphere is doing its job again.
Rendezvous, perspective, antipathy.
Morgan, there's not much
Thanks,
time.
Danielle.
Please. Morgan? Morgan, this is Chief Elazar. The airlocks on Talos are sealed, but there's an opening at the cargo bay you could use.
Oh, wow.
Would you stop that?
Morgan, Dr. Igwe here. I've been able to construct a chipset for your psychoscope that you might find useful. Dr. Yu, both of them approved the experiment.
I left the chipset for you on my desk. You'll need to upgrade your psychoscope without hesitation, Carl. But it's not because they're evil. It's because they can't do otherwise.
Oh, the big twist. So usually, depending on what they say here, decides like the ultimate choice at the end. We'll see.
Morgan,
what's got for me?
don't listen to that guy. He's an asshole.
All right, never mind. I'm just an
The
asshole.
version of you is a lot more interesting.
Dang.
There's something over there.
Whoa.
That's true. There is something over there.
That's what this is all about, Morgan. By the way, Morgan, that trick you pulled in the power plant killed the station's magnetic shield. Sense our intent to harm the coral. What is a neuromod?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna take a second to find out.
If you have some means of escape, you may as well go. I won't be leaving.
Well, there you
great
go.
message to end off on. Congratulations, you finished Prey. Took a lot longer. A couple soft locks along the way, but that is Prey randomized in a way that's it never meant to be played that way. So you run into a couple issues, but hey, all in good fun. Prey Moon Crash should go significantly smoother. It is randomized to an extent, but it is meant to be played that way, and we have safety strats to get through it for sure. I think we're taking a small break, but stick around for that. It is a really cool DLC. It's one of my favorite of all time. And if you want to see more Prey Rando stuff with harder settings, keycard rando, all enemies nightmares, I have plenty of YouTube videos covering those as well.